It's starting for whatever reason.
Do it.
And we're doing some foosball.
Well, hello, everybody! Welcome, all of you fucks.
No, that's really not what we're going to do. We're going to do, well...
God, you're right.
Tell us, Bob.
Bros and trolls alike, welcome to
yes.
Fifth Down for our second
Welcome,
installment.
bros and trolls alike. Exactly what he said. I'm Bobby. This is James. This is John. We mentioned him before in our last pod thing. I don't know what the hell it is.
YouTube video.
Here. We're all good.
Father, son, the other guy. We're doing this. We're going to make it happen.
That dude.
So, Thursday Night Football has just ended. It was
Garbage.
a shit show of a football game.
Which
as
every Thursday night is.
One of us predicted, especially the color rush uniforms. I fucking hate them. I will always fucking hate them. Get the helmets on board. John, what do you have to say about this?
One of us, not me, predicted this game within 1 point each.
It was definitely not John.
Definitely was me.
Still not John.
I did tell you to not
So,
those running backs when
all
I was right when I was wrong.
one of the things that I will definitely say was on point was you should not start a New Orleans Saints running back, and that played to fruition other than the fact that Mark Ingram got fucking hurt.
And
My God. Tim Hightower, what'd you think? So,
He scored 20 points in PPR, but most of them were catches, so we were kind of right on the whole don't use a running back.
That's where you score your points in
screen
PPR.
passes happened.
They were also playing from behind,
Yeah.
and it was like, 20-3 at halftime?
Yeah,
It was not a good game. James, thoughts? Tim Hightower, Mark Ingram.
That hit that Ingram took was pretty vicious. Not as vicious as the one that Kuechly took, obviously, because he went off crying.
I still don't
And
understand
I'm not saying
either of
that's
them.
a bad thing. As a competitor, you're passionate about your sport, and that's understandable. But when you're a grown ass man crying on national television,
Oh, poor Kuechly.
yeah, it's
Poor
sad. Man.
Kuechly.
It's
Like,
sad.
the fact, like, he
That's-
was huffing and puffing like that,
That's more season-ending than
It was
anything.
heartbreaking. It was
Yeah,
heartbreaking to watch.
We thought he hurt his Achilles.
I thought he was dead.
Yeah,
honestly.
I thought he was dead.
Like,
It's got to be season-ending. It's
But
not
make-
just a concussion.
Make sure you trade Mark Ingram for something right now, guys.
Yeah,
This is your
Mark
shit.
Ingram.
Or if you have Hightower, you sell him high.
High.
You sell him
Yeah.
high right now.
Amen. All right, so in the quarterback situation, we had Drew Brees. He had a game that was not Drew Brees'
Typical road game.
He had 2 touchdowns, interception, but he only threw for what,
285?
280?
Less than 300, which is not
By 15 yards.
Breeze-esque.
Very atypical Brees, but he still. I mean, he showed up in the second half. That's really what it came down to.
Yeah,
He didn't do a lot from a statistical standpoint until the second half. Do you praise the Carolina defense for that, or is that more of a New Orleans offensive just blunder?
I really thought the Carolina defense in the first half looked pretty great.
Both defenses
felt
look
like-
great,
absolutely.
especially defensive lines.
But I felt like we saw the old Carolina defense in the first half.
I will completely agree, especially rush defense. That
Absolutely.
rush defense just I mean, honestly, they took out Mark Ingram. Like, it wasn't a play of, this guy's going to run the ball X amount of times, we're going to try to stop him. It was, we're going to fucking take this guy out. It's very Saints 2008, like, we're going to crush somebody to make them out of the game.
We're going to twist your ankle far.
Yeah, no, like...
We're going to break that ankle off.
How much is that worth?
Yeah. Who won money on that one? So... If you had to look at it moving forward, are you set on Hightower? Like you guys already said, sell on him.
Sell him high.
Or
I would
do you
definitely
think
sell
you
him
still
high.
are on Ingram's side? Like he had those 2 weeks off, and they're like, we're moving to someone else, and then they like just fed him the ball that week after.
I mean, I'm a Cardinals fan. If somebody's gonna love Tim Hightower, I can be on that train. But I just don't think that he's your long-term answer.
Okay.
Same thing as Ingram.
Fair.
So I think sell him while you can.
So, okay, if you had both of them, one or the other, would you sell both of them, or would you hold on to Ingram?
I would sell Ingram over Hightower because obviously Ingram's hurt and we don't know what the injury report's going to say or what his status is going to be for next week. And Hightower already proved himself. He's obviously the number 2, and he proved himself to be a compatible running back out of the backfield and in the backfield, both catching and running.
Okay, I believe John.
I would definitely, if I didn't for some reason trade either of them, if I couldn't work out a trade, I'm not saying I wouldn't start Hightower next week, assuming Ingram's hurt.
Okay, makes sense.
But I would prefer to trade them, being that they are.
All right, and then from a receiver perspective, like we were all Saints. If you have any of them, start them.
The Predators, the only one
it wasn't a bad call. They did well.
It didn't do as well as we thought.
Even on the same perspective, if we went to the other side, Kelvin Benjamin, he did well enough to be a wide receiver 2, as any of the Saints guys would be. But the guy that really did it was Ted Ginn. Like,
who?
Old school.
Yeah, exactly. Who called that?
Who?
Like, when we started watching the game, the first touchdown that was called back, John definitely said, like, yeah, no, I love this guy for what he can do in the open field.
He used to be the guy.
He's still the guy. Like, it just, I don't understand the Carolina offense at all. Jay Stu got 18 carries.
Higgins' first touchdown of the year.
His first touchdown of the year.
He had 10
Week
last
10.
year.
Yeah, it is such a coin flip.
Week 11.
So we have the MVP
Week 10 was last
season
week.
of Cam Newton. He did his thing last year, and Ted Ginn was obviously an integral part of that. But in all fairness, they didn't have Kelvin Benjamin, so
That's true.
coin flip one way or the other. It's still a shit show in Carolina. There is no number 1 guy. Even if you have Kelvin Benjamin, you are not sure if you can start him every week. It's the same shit with DeAndre Hopkins. Like, you cannot decide, like, this is my guy, I'm going to start him week in, week out. It's just a matter of who's the hot hand in Carolina. Like, what would you say, like, moving forward, would you start any of the 3?
Well, not only would I probably not start any of the 3 except for Kelvin on good matchups, but you have to look at somebody who's been an automatic starter for years in Cam, scoring 11 points, I believe, tonight. Like, that may be an exception. I suspect that'll be his season low.
That's still, yeah,
But
no, like...
You have to wonder if maybe we're seeing the defense step up and the offense step down a little tonight.
Well, and Stewart did get the ball a lot more than he's normally getting it. They're running the ball better.
He got the ball 5... He had 5 more carries than he did the previous week.
So what, the right direction, though.
He had 13. he had 13 the week before.
Yeah, so he had almost 20.
18 tonight.
He had 18 tonight.
Damn near, yeah.
Okay. I said if they got 20, they would probably win.
Well, and if you got 20, most people are thinking about this is a good start.
It was still a shit show. Like
I agree.
He got 18 carries. I think he had less than 40 yards. Like, it wasn't one of those...
Somewhere around there.
18
yards.
carries for 80 yards. It was 18 for 2 a carry. Is Jay Stu a guy that you can just be like, you know what? I'm done with him. Like, I'm going to just ignore him. Or I'm gonna bench him until he does something for me. Is that what you're feeling? You're shaking your head. Yes.
Yeah,
I've definitely.
Jonathan Stewart has never been a reliable running back in fantasy.
I definitely disagree with that.
I don't believe that.
Never, ever,
definitely
never,
No.
ever.
Okay. Ignore him.
I definitely can't blame Stewart, and I definitely would never say that I would never start him in fantasy. Stewart is a great back sometimes. He's obviously not like one of our top 10 guys we're going after every year for consistency, and he's been injured a lot.
So if he's somebody that you can pick up off the wire, then yeah, of course. If you need somebody for buy filler or something like that, but it's not somebody you're going to draft him, or you're not going to draft him. You're not going to draft him in the top 5.
Did you draft him in your league?
Never.
Did somebody draft him in your league?
He was definitely
not in the top 5
league.
rounds.
Has he been in the waivers for your leagues? Either of them?
I'm going to go with no, probably.
He hasn't.
No, because he's been stashed on benches.
Okay, Jonathan Stewart, you're going to still...
He's one of those players that you don't want anybody else to have, so you're just going to keep him on your bench.
Okay. So Jay Stu, stash him. Cam Newton had an off week. Drew Brees had an off week. On the other side, we still talked Hightower. Like, he had his second week, I guess. Mark Ingram also, like, he's out. We're not sure how severe that injury is going to be or how long it's going to last. Do you guys have any thoughts on the Saints side of the running back situation?
Either way, I say Hightower stock is up.
Hightower, way up.
I can't agree with that. Like, I think Ingram still has a place, but he's kind of in the same situation that Jonathan Stewart's in. If you have him, you're not playing him until he proves that he can do something.
Unless you're like a bunch of people on bye and nobody's on the waivers.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying you couldn't flex him if you had to, but I wouldn't try to.
I definitely agree. All right.
Well, in a PPR league, you don't want to flex a running back anyway, unless it's like
Unless you had to.
Forte or somebody that catches a lot of balls out of the backfield like Le'Veon Bell, but Le'Veon Bell's a perennial number 1 running back in fantasy. So
yeah, why would you flex him? Yeah, so who are your other guys? Ezekiel and David Johnson? Like, stop it.
No.
Get the fuck out of here. All right, moving on. Let's go to the wide receivers. Okay, so we had Snead, Thomas, and Cooks as our guys this week that would do something. And they kind of did wide receiver, like a low-end wide receiver 2.
No one blew us out of the water like we thought.
Yeah, nobody did anything big. I mean, Brees, he didn't throw touchdowns to the people we thought he'd throw. He threw one.
He definitely hit Fleener for
one.
He hit Coleman for the other?
He hit fucking Fleener. I can't stand that
he
hit
hit Fleener.
Hey-o. Fuck Fleener. I don't understand.
Well, what did he have? What did he have? Like 8 points, maybe?
8 or 9.
Was 6 coming from the touch?
Yeah, it doesn't. No, whatever. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So receiver wise, moving forward, are you still going to count on any of those 3 guys?
I still, in PPR especially, I don't know. I still
Snead.
definitely count on Thomas and Cooks possibly.
I
personally still like Snead.
Give me all 3 of them.
I still like Snead.
Personally, give me all 3 of them.
On my bench.
Cooks is their big play guy. He's the guy who runs down the field and catches the big ball.
Nothing really.
He's not the guy who. He's not the guy that makes a bunch of catches and makes a bunch of plays. Like, he doesn't make a lot of yards after the catch unless it's deep downfield.
The thing with Brees is he will hit anyone, anywhere, anytime. And he has proven that week in, week out, year in, year out.
Marquis.
Colston.
This is a fuck James episode.
No. It's not that. I'm just saying, when it comes to any Brees receiver, whether it's Chargers, Saints, even college, like when he was back at Purdue, like he spread the ball out. Like, that's his thing. He doesn't give a shit who's open. He's going to hit them. That's his thing. And it's kind of a coin flip when you go moving forward. Thomas, Cooks,
and then Snead, I'd say.
Yes. I would say Cooks first if I had to pick a guy. Snead because he.
Are you talking standard or PPR or both?
Either.
I feel like Snead comes back up in PPR for me.
So Cooks is still the guy. Cooks is 1. I would say Snead could be 1 in certain situations given the matchups. And then Thomas is the Deshaun Jackson of the Saints. Like
20 points or 2 points. You're not sure which is going to happen.
So it's just a matter of where your perspective is. Like, okay, well, they're playing the Niners. Start all of them. Whatever. It's not a big... It's just...
Yeah. I feel like this game didn't change too much for us with these 3 receivers. Like, we're still starting them about as much as we started them before this game.
Yeah, like, I'm not going to sit one guy.
And also, this game turned out totally different than I also predicted. Like,
this guy predicted.
Than I predicted.
This guy.
Almost.
This game was
35.
This game was a defensive line dominated game.
The run.
Both of those defensive lines came up to play. Yes. They showed the fuck up.
And Bobby still almost nailed it.
When you sack Cam Newton 5'10", 8 yards into the backfield, like, you are doing something right.
Every time he tried to turn around for a run.
Yeah. Okay, so the defensive aspect of this, we'll get to that, but let's transition to the Carolina receiving core. We were all on the Kelvin bandwagon because he's the 6'5" Predator, as we've discussed. Yeah, how do you not throw him? He's like DeAndre Hopkins,
throw it up.
With a better quarterback. Yeah, exactly.
With a more athletic quarterback, especially.
Yeah, someone that will throw him the ball.
A quarterback that can make more time.
You're right. A better quarterback.
Yeah, a better quarterback. That's really what it comes down to.
Except for maybe
like, you add Ted Ginn.
You're saying Cam Newton's better than Drew Brees?
What? We're not talking about Drew Brees.
No.
We're talking about Osweiler versus
Hopkins versus yeah.
Whoa!
Catch up, bro. All right, so
we've been drinking rum.
Okay, so we've got Kelvin Benjamin, who had an okay game PPR wise, not so much standard. And then we had Funchess, who just didn't really show up one way or the other. I don't know.
Never does though.
He's definitely a wild card week in, week out. I don't think you can ever trust him. He's
almost out there just to fill a spot.
If you have better options, definitely start.
Yeah, I don't know if you play him even if you have to. There's got to be someone on your waivers.
Ted Ginn, like he's kind of fills that same Deshaun Jackson role. In Carolina, it's just a different target share. I think he doesn't get as many targets, but he can still have that big playability. I don't know what you guys think.
I feel like that's about right. I don't know about Funchess. I just don't really like that kind of player where I'm hoping for 9 points. I would rather take nobody on that team, start someone off the waivers, or if I'm feeling like they're going to score 40 points and this is the game that I've just predicted and stars align, then I'm taking
I had a lot of faith. I had a lot of faith in Funchess at the beginning of the year just because of what the Panthers were coming off
last
of.
year.
NFC Championship, Super Bowl. I mean, yeah, they got their asses beat, but...
All right, so if you're going to rank the Carolina receivers moving forward, Kelvin, you start him week in, week out? Is that a guy that you trust?
Unless you have a lot of good receivers.
He's a number one, so you have to start.
He would be your flex or wide receiver
okay,
too.
so you would flex him at some point.
Or wide receiver too.
Let's say you had...
He's the number one receiver on his team, so that's who you're looking for in a starting receiver.
It is Carolina.
We're talking 200 yards.
I completely agree. If you have the right situation, I would flex him. Are you ever going to sit him, though? Would you be like, yeah, you know what?
Unless you have the deepest wide receiver core, maybe. I'm not saying you couldn't.
No,
I just don't see it.
I agree. If you have the greatest receiving core,
if you're in an 8-man league, then yeah, you're gonna fucking play him.
Nobody plays those.
No, there's people out there.
They do.
You're
but
saying
we need it in the comments. 8-man leagues. Give us your opinion.
I play in one, but it doesn't matter. Ours is 10. Ours is 10. Close though.
Thanks.
All right, so moving on. How about Funchess?
Makes a difference.
Do you just not trust Funchess at all moving forward this year?
Not my kind of player. No, not. I like consistency, as we all should in fantasy, but there's no upside for me. There's not a lot of upside.
All right, I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, no Funchess. No Funchess.
Bunches of Funchess, no Moss.
No bunches. No bunches of our Funchess.
So, all right, Ted Ginn. Are we just flex at best?
I'm saying you maybe pick him up.
You don't think he was just a product of a short week?
I feel like that's more likely the outcome. Maybe sit him on your bench if you have the room and see what happens. But he hasn't been consistent in a while.
Because he's obviously on your waivers. Who plays? Who starts even drafts Ted Ginn Jr.?
I think he's owned in less than nothing.
It depends on what kind of league you're in. In a PPR format, I'm throwing him out. He's welcome to Dumpsville, as they say on ESPN. But PPR, no question, he's gone. He doesn't get the targets, he doesn't get the receptions.
I agree.
It's not something that matters.
His first almost touchdown was on a jet sweep. It wasn't even a pass.
We're talking about Ted Ginn. You're talking about Ted Ginn.
Who did I say? Funchess?
Yeah, we're
Funchess.
But we're talking about Ted Ginn, who almost had 10 touchdowns.
So yeah, that was on a jet sweep.
He should have had 2. If it weren't for
he was down.
He could have had 2.
No, he was just down on the goal line. He was down.
That's still not a touchdown, right?
No.
Technically.
I'm just saying, it wasn't a penalty. He was just down.
I thought there was a penalty on that call also. Yeah, anyway.
Alright, so moving on, we believe in Kelvin Benjamin moving forward unless you have an absolute...
or lukewarm.
Unless you have a deep receiving core.
Unless you're in a 12-man and
you just can't unless you have some amazing receivers. Let's move to the tight ends. Let's say Greg Olsen, Kobe Fleener. They both had games. None of them were.
I hate Fleener.
Fleener had a touchdown. That's his calling card for the year. That's all he's had. It's not consistent. There's nothing consistent.
Red zone target.
1 to 3 receptions and a
All right,
touchdown.
so, okay, would you rather have Olsen in this game or Fleener in this game, given what you know now?
Oh, what we know now?
What you know now. Would you
Fleener, obviously.
Same option as before the game.
I still would have taken Olsen.
I still take Fleener.
I would take Olsen.
Fleener's a touchdown guy.
When Cam Newton's in trouble, he goes to Olsen.
Truth.
Like, I don't give a shit what's going on. He
knows where Olsen is more than anybody else on the field.
But there was a play in the first drive that they had when the red zone.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't the first time where he turned around and got sacked. Like, that wasn't the play. But when he actually had the pass attempt, the target in the red zone went to Olsen. I don't think you saw anyone else on the field. Like, even the 6'5" Kelvin Benjamin didn't get a red zone target in this game.
Which is stupid.
The only guy that did was Olsen and J. Stu. Like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Let the guy go up and get a fucking ball. Like, let him jump and catch one.
I think my point isn't that Olsen's not maybe the better option because Cam always looks for Olsen, but just that Fleener has more chances because Breeze is always throwing it out, and that you have to guard 3 wide receivers, so there's always these seam routes open.
Breeze is always throwing it 40 times a game, at least.
Okay, Breeze will always search for anyone on the field. If they're open, they're getting the ball. Like, we cannot argue that enough because that's going to happen. The fact of the matter is, when Olsen's open, he doesn't get the ball all the time. It's that Cam doesn't want to give the ball up. Like I said yesterday, he's the Rajon Rondo of football. If he has the ball in his hand, he might not give it up because he thinks he's a better option than throwing the football.
And he's always looking for the home run.
Yeah,
he's never looking for the dump off. Or he's never looking for the open guy. He's looking for the home run.
The opposite of most quarterbacks in the NFL. And yet he didn't really run this game either.
No. Which I said it yesterday. Like, that's a product of the coaching staff not calling the plays for him because they have designed runs in their playbook for just him, and you didn't see one of them. You didn't see a single one.
He had a couple where he did the fake handoff. He turned
and got sacked
and got blasted. Yeah, like it wasn't.
The run defense was crazy, so it's hard to say he didn't run because he probably was about to run.
He should have had 3 sacks by half. He only got 2. I mentioned that as we were watching it. You guys know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
That particular play where he faked the handoff, started running. I was like, that should be a sack, but it's going to go as a tackle for loss.
Bobby was on fire tonight.
But whatever, it doesn't matter.
Bobby was on point.
He called that Ted Ginn air out touchdown in way before.
Yeah, as soon as he caught the ball,
we were like
hands on the ball, feet in. I was like, oh shit, that might be a touchdown. That might be a touchdown. You guys are like, all right, cool, yeah, I don't know. Next play. And I was like, I think they're gonna review it. No shit, they review it, and both feet in. Ted Ginn, his first touchdown. Congrats, Ted Ginn.
Great throw.
Amazing catch. The throw was fantastic.
Cam Newton throw of the year?
I said that, yeah. Best D-ball Cam Newton's ever thrown in his entire life.
Let me do some research. I'll look into it, but I think it's definitely the best.
First.
It's the best of this year.
Definitely
no
one of the
question.
best throws we've seen.
On the other side, like, do we have any stock in Kobe Fleener at all?
Yeah, definitely would still keep considering.
He's the number 1 tight end. Yeah, duh. And
I'm not saying that
you have a quarterback who throws the ball 40 times a game. You're not.
I'm not saying you can set him for.
He's never going to get the ball. Sorry, I interrupt you.
No, I just feel like
I love the
if you have 2 great tight ends, you don't probably start.
Never not.
But
if he's your best option, you probably don't really even have to look at the matchup much. He's
so
definitely a low-end tight end 1.
Okay, well, would you start him consistently over someone like Charles Clay, a guy that's
yes. Who?
Buffalo?
Who?
I don't know.
Buffalo?
I think I probably would start him over
Buffalo Soldier.
Okay, would you flip a coin between the two
with all their players in? And everybody healthy?
Right now, if you had the choice between Charles Clay, Kobe Fleener, who would you pick?
Because I'm leaning Fleener. Also Clay's on bye, so you know.
And you're going with a run-based offense versus a pass-based offense. So tight ends don't run the ball.
Fine.
They get the ball thrown.
Julius Thomas versus
Fleener.
you would take Fleener over Thomas.
Jacksonville sucks.
Yeah.
You guys are out of your mind. I love Fleener, but I don't like him in that offense. There's something about it.
I've had success with Fleener this year. I've only played him like 3 times.
He's had a couple weeks.
I've played him like 3 times out of the 5
He's had a couple weeks.
So you're roster stashing him.
All right, so
I drop tight ends as I feel and pick up new ones. There's plenty of waivers in our league.
You just need to drop him so I can pick them up.
There's plenty of waiver tight ends in our league. I have
Travis Kelce, so I don't need Fleener.
I got Bennett off the waiver. I got
the only person that Alex Smith ever throws the fucking ball to.
What's his name? Terry Hill? Is that the guy you got?
Travis.
No, it's not.
Helsey.
Helsey. Yeah, he's hell to have on your team. Amen. Moving forward, do you think that either of these teams are going to take momentum from this game and push it forward?
Falcons have that division.
Definitely see Carolina maybe having a little chance at it, though. I mean, not a great chance. I'm just saying they may feel like they've gotten some of their spark back. I see their defense playing very well.
Now without Kuechly.
So they're blowing the run up. That's not all Kuechly. I'm not saying it's not Kuechly.
Kuechly has been around all year.
I'm saying they're blowing the run up again. And honestly, their pass defense didn't give up 300 yards to Drew Brees.
Do you think they had 58? Did they have 58 rushing yards this week?
Who, the
New Orleans. Yeah.
Nolans.
Do you think they had the 58 that?
Yeah, I'm sure.
I think that Ingram had almost 40 yards.
I don't know that I believe that. Like, I'll look into it, but I don't think that.
We haven't looked up our stats yet. We're just
I'm saying the fact is, like, they did a lot of bubble screens. Like, that was the thing.
Hard for me to guess.
Like, I think they might have been close, but still, like, let's say they get 65, 70 yards. Like, that's not really a good rushing game, especially in the NFL. And if you think that's a victory for the Saints, it's most certainly not.
Like, I think that this is definitely, if anything, not a victory.
No, it's a blow to them.
I feel like after they started 1-4, right? And then they popped back up to 4-4.
Yeah. So
and here we are losing again in a game they had a chance to win.
Right.
Well, they had a chance to win late.
It was a rough chance, but they
were out of it the entire game.
I don't believe that. Like, they're a quick strike offense. Yeah. Like, they've always had that.
Drew Brees has scored touchdowns in
Drew Brees had how many balls batted at the line? Like 3?
As many as Cam Newton. As many as Cam Newton.
Yeah.
So, I don't want to hear your bullshit about batted balls.
5'9".
So, yeah. 6'2", whatever.
6'1" in his cleats.
Alright, so if you're moving forward as the Panthers, are you more susceptible to run the ball based on what almost happened this week? Or would you still just be like, you know what, we're going to do a 50-50 split and we're just still going to throw the ball up and hope Funchess or Ginn or Kelvin Benjamin's still going to do the job? Or are you going to commit to the run? Like, they still have not done that. Like, they gave Jonathan Stewart 18 rushes. Is that enough to make them commit to it?
I feel like their defense played so well, and their offense didn't play well in the first half, but they still had a pretty decent lead in the first half that they didn't really have to decide what they were committing to. I think in a real game, where both teams are playing well and your defense can't carry you every step of the way, I feel like you have to commit to your run a little more effectively than they did. You're not going to get that perfect 1 in a million pass to the fucking last inch of the touchdown to Ted Ginn Jr., your basically third wide receiver most of the time.
I also felt that the Saints relied on their run a little too much. They didn't put the ball in Drew Brees' hands.
We're talking Panthers.
I'm talking Saints.
No. Okay. if you were the Panthers right now, moving into week 11...
12.
Week 12.
This is week
Moving
11.
into week 12. This is still week 11.
Yeah, this is week 11.
So, okay, moving into week 12, would you set up your team as more of a run offense, or would you still be like, you know what, we're just going to do 50-50, whatever happens, happens?
As a coach?
Yeah, if you were the coach of the Panthers right now.
You're the riverboat. What are you going to do?
Yeah, you're Ron Rivera. What do you do? You're like, hey guys, we need to commit to the run more.
I still have last year's MVP at quarterback. Like, I still believe in.
I think that he needs to.
I'm talking as Riverboat Ron, so I still believe in my guy, my quarterback.
Yeah. Okay.
I feel like that's what
He
this game
can
lacks.
still.
Was
some Cam.
There was no Cam.
They don't. Well, it's just
run.
exactly. They don't run him anymore.
He had the throw. Like
That's it. They don't run.
Thank goodness he had the throw.
No, the throw was fantastic. So let's talk from a standpoint of moving forward. Like they want to be in the playoffs, and they have potentials to be there.
Playoffs.
No. So if you are an opponent going against the Panthers coming up, like in the next 4 or 5 weeks, would you be more worried about Cam Newton as a passer or Cam Newton as a rusher? Like, what would you focus on more?
I feel like you could pretty much. Well, I mean, just watching this game, but I assume, and the fact that they've lost some pretty big ones lately, if you can ignore Cam some as a runner, you can definitely ignore Stewart as a runner lately, it seems. You may be able to focus the pass and just beat the Panthers. I don't know. I mean, it sounds simple, but if you can watch where Greg Olson's going to be, you have a chance.
And James, what are you thinking?
Drinking?
Can I talk about the Saints now?
No, we're not to the Saints yet. We're gonna get there. Don't worry.
So the
Panthers wise.
Okay.
What's your biggest fear for the Panthers moving forward?
My biggest fear is that they won't be able to stop anybody, especially if Kuechly can't come back. The centerfold, like the Playboy centerfold of that entire defense. Dude. If they don't have him on their defense, it's going to affect them. I mean, you can't lie. You can't deny it.
Okay, from an offensive standpoint, like, let's say nothing happened. Nothing changed on defense because they haven't been a great defense at this point this year. Like, they've been middle of the road.
Since they lost
who are they going to be offensively? What's their identity? Are they a run team? Are they a pass team? Are they just a 50-50?
I don't think they know what they are. They don't know. It showed tonight.
So is that more indicative of what they could be, or that they are so balanced that you can't determine what they're going to be in the future?
They're not balanced. It's just whatever's going to work for them that night. I feel like they play it on the fly. It's like they're just like, oh, well, what's going to work within our first three drives, and then we're just going to go with that.
So do you see the Panthers as a playoff team?
No.
This year?
I don't see the Saints as one either.
All right, so no. I agree. I see the Falcons. They're gonna win the division.
I talked a lot of shit.
It's hard to say one way or the other.
I talked a lot of shit about the NFC East on the last episode, but I feel like one of those teams is going to come out as a wild card.
Yeah, I think that's fair right now.
So
I mean,
that's the only thing that the Panthers and the Saints could go for
right now. 3
of
the 4 of those teams have a winning record.
Well,
it's not a big deal.
That's
it could literally be both of the teams coming in the wild card.
That's the only way one of those teams would be a wild or would be in the playoffs.
Airhorn, who gives a shit about the NFC East? Let's move on to the Saints.
I don't.
In the Saints' case, this is a tough loss. Like you can't say one way or the other that they're going to bounce back. But is there anything that you can take from this game as a positive? What they've done, because it didn't look like their run game did anything. Their pass game was ineffective.
Hightower.
Their defense was just not good. Like they let Cam and that defense do whatever they want.
I think
Ted Ginn scored his first touchdown of the year. That's how bad it went.
Once Hightower got into the game as a full-time player, as not just a backup, he made his voice known. Like he made himself known.
I agree that was definitely one of the two things I noticed if we were trying to find positives in the Saints tonight. Hightower definitely stepped up and probably added more than Ingram could when Ingram left.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have to admit that even though the Saints didn't win and didn't play quite as well as the Carolina run D, they also had a pretty decent run D all game.
Yeah, their defensive lines both showed up, yes.
That is something that has been prevalent for both those teams, is their defense has showed up since their bye weeks. On the Saints side, like obviously they haven't been as good a defense because they've given up the big play. Like that's always been their knock is they give up the big
Their
play.
secondary is always
score twice as much.
Always.
Play,
do you see them being a team that can bounce, like that can overcome having such an Achilles and having the big play? Like, just give it up. Like, is it a safety thing? Is it a defensive thing? What's the problem with the Saints defense? Like, what do you guys think that is?
I think this is the Saints defense we've been used to in the last few years.
Yeah.
This would be fine if they...
So is it the Rob Ryan effect?
No, if they could score 40 points a game, it wouldn't matter.
That's my point. If you could score 40 points a game, they'd obviously still lose. If they've let 45, 50 points go in a few games, like they've definitely given them up. But
the last game, they beat Carolina 41-38.
Exactly.
Again, that was at home, and I've mentioned the home road splits. I believe in that wholeheartedly.
But that feels like a Saints game.
Is there something about the Saints that just says we can't win on the road? Is that
out of the Superdome? I mean, they have a dome.
That home field advantage.
I get that. Like I believe the home road.
I still don't feel like home field advantage is a thing in the NFL though.
But they have a dome to throw them with
For them, it most certainly is. They
were in Carolina. It was like 68 degrees.
The big problem is their road woes.
It's not like Pittsburgh where it's like fucking 28.
Go ahead, Bobby.
Degrees?
Yeah.
Okay, we're talking temperature. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm talking
that makes a difference.
Their attitude.
Their offense, their defense, they're a different group altogether when they're on the road. Like when they're home, their offense scores all the points. On defense, they hold people. Like that crowd keeps them together. Like what is it? If you know, I mean, I don't know. What is it that differentiates them from the Superdome team to any, like, the road team? Like, what is it about that group that just differentiates them?
That's a loud crowd. I mean, that causes a lot of the problems, especially, I mean, being a Seahawks fan, the 12th man, that's loud.
Yeah.
Homer.
Somehow we got the Seahawks head, guys. Don't
Kansas
worry.
City. Oh, I always will.
No. Yeah,
I always will.
Keep making your point.
Kansas City. That's a loud stadium. They cause a lot of false starts just for being a loud crowd.
It's not about the false starts though.
But
like, it's not that specific.
It's crucial
Give
times.
me offensive numbers. Like, does Alex Smith throw better at Candlestick?
Alex Smith sucks.
Candlestick's not a dome.
Okay, exactly.
They're not in
That's my point.
anymore.
So.
Thank you.
Oh, cute. Go masturbate in the bathroom, bro. Stop it. Nobody cares about your bullshit.
But they're not. It's like Levi Stadium.
Thank you.
You got some Levi's on?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Put your ass up to the screen and we'll get maybe some sponsors.
John, please tell me what you think about the Saints' troubles.
The Saints may not have the pieces they used to have, especially when you start talking about catching running backs. I mean, though Hightower looked promising.
Sproles. I mean,
we miss Sproles. We miss people
Colston.
like that. Oh my gosh, Golston. We miss talent in all these talent positions. And it means that we have to play our perfect game to score 43 points and win. And that is much easier when there's no win and you're in a dome and your team's there rooting for you and every person in there is a Saints fan. It's a little hard to do on the road.
You not only have to score 40-plus points, but you have to throw the ball 40, 50 times. Like, you're not going to win in the NFL. You're not going to win games like this, like we saw tonight, if you have to throw the ball that many times.
So I don't necessarily believe in that wholeheartedly because the Eagles
Do you believe in anything wholeheartedly?
The Brian Westbrook offense of the Eagles, they didn't run super effective, but
he's the master of the screen pass.
They had the screen game.
That was what screen passing is.
That's where
That's where McNabb made his money.
Yeah, but they made a Super Bowl.
Yeah, they made a Super Bowl.
No,
they made a Super Bowl. There's a key statement right there.
T.O.
Fuck the Patriots.
Are you saying the Saints are going to make the playoffs? Let's say that.
I already said no.
Okay,
neither team will miss. Neither team will make the playoffs.
So we're going to say the Falcons are the front runner for that division,
and maybe
and then nobody else is going to even be close. Tampa Bay? Maybe?
No, I don't know.
Do you have Tampa Bay?
I don't have Tampa Bay either.
You have the Saints.
I have the Saints maybe being close. Maybe Carolina being close. I just don't have.
Falcons have that division.
But the Falcons are going to limp in even though it's going to look like limping because I don't think they're going to have as good a second half of the season as they did the first.
Okay.
But it's still going to be a walk-in.
But they're still going to be a division winner, and they're still going to get a home playoff game. Because that's what happens when you're a division winner.
I think the Panthers and Saints are going to kill themselves. Like, I just think that's what's going to happen.
So if we had to come down to brass tacks, you're saying
Mick Foley?
Just throwing words in.
WWE reference.
Just
don't worry.
Words out.
My WWE takes
moving on to real
Bobby,
sports.
what do you think about the division? How do you see the
You're
division
telling
going?
me that we have the Falcons and others that have a chance.
Yeah.
You're saying, like, they...
If wild card goes weird, maybe.
You're saying, okay, so we have the NFC East, which is a shit show of
Eagles.
Unfortunately, winning teams right now. We have
Easy schedules.
the NFC North. Oh, yeah, let's not talk about that. The NFC
that
North, which also has a few winning teams.
Too many Cowboys fans out there that would just troll.
All right, so let's go through it. We have the Cowboys. Our
8-1,
our
greatest or not greatest, best team in the NFL.
Basically a surefire
Basically
go.
going to the playoffs, guys.
We have Detroit as the NFC North team.
Yeah, the Vikings.
So we got the Falcons, and then we have the Seahawks. So we have two teams outside of those. And right now, I think both of those teams are going to come from the NFC East. We're going to have...
Cardinals are a couple games behind.
The NFC West is a shootout at this point.
Vikings are a game behind.
No, that's what I'm saying. The Vikings have a losing record. The Packers have a losing record. We go to the NFC South.
Cardinals
Both of those...
are 5-4, but I think they're still out.
Well, no. So, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, when we go to the NFC East...
Or 3-4.
We've got two teams...
What adds up to 10?
5-3-2, obviously.
5-3 and 3 ties, James. Obviously.
Oh my god!
So
I love math.
Is there any way that you guys see anyone from the NFC South making it outside of the Falcons? Like I agree, the Falcons are going to be the team.
No, there's not going to be a wild card.
I don't think there's enough games left.
I think the Falcons the Falcons are the team, but I think the Buccaneers have a chance.
I don't see it, but
defense.
How many running backs are back?
It comes back. Okay,
that's the thing. Like they have Doug Martin coming back.
The hamster.
The hamster's back already. They've got Jaquiz
supposed to come back soon?
in the ready. They've got Peyton Barber.
Oregon boy.
Is Sims out for the rest of the year?
Sims is out.
Oregon State.
He's not coming back. But I just think from an offensive standpoint, they've got such a talented team. Even with losing, Vincent Jackson, they've still got the top target guy in the league, Mike Evans. Like,
one of the top wide receivers.
I don't care what anyone says. Like that guy is going to get all the targets.
Number one fantasy or targets.
Mike Evans.
Number one wide receiver
we got
targets.
Adam Humphries. We got Cameron Brate. They've got the core offensively. It's just a matter of them being able to hold people defensively. And I think, especially in that division, they can take 2-3 games and shock somebody and get into the playoff race. Especially the Saints and the Panthers. Like I think they can beat both of them. They have that.
I think your Seminole colors are coming true here. And it's possible that you're...
Famous Jameis? No,
I feel like it's possible you're overestimating their quarterback play.
Doesn't. It's not about that. It's more their offensive talents.
Be a little taller.
So the thing about the Buccaneers is that they have they're not the most talented. Like I wouldn't ever say that. But they have talented guys that can make the plays.
I agree.
And so, I'm not saying that they're a lock. I'm just saying that they could surprise people and just show up in the playoff race.
And I would love that. I just worry that Winston doesn't.
Will you let me fucking talk?
Listen, son. You'll
Tampa Bay's defense doesn't show up every week. They're not the type of defense that can go out there and stop anybody.
They're in the South, though. They're in the South. That's what I'm saying.
But they don't just play the South. Yeah, they play each team twice, but they play other teams too. And you have to win those non-division games to even get a chance. Yeah.
All right. So, who are your top 6? Who are your playoff teams in the NFC right now? Since we just saw NFC South.
So who are your 2 wild cards, or are we saying that?
We're going to start from the bottom or the top?
Give me all 6.
Okay.
So is Dallas our unanimous?
Dallas is the unanimous.
Dallas unanimous one.
Dallas, yeah. I would hate
to go to the playoffs.
To be honest with you, it kills me to say it, but yes.
We're Dallas NFC, so they'll probably go to the playoffs.
NFC East.
Who we got? After last week's game, the Seahawks are number 2.
Okay.
And then that's not just a homer pick. After beating one of the best teams in the league.
Said the homer.
Beating one of the best teams in the league and the GOAT of all time at QB.
Who you got in the South? And who you got?
Let's say things.
Who you got in the South? And who you
You
got
don't
in
think
the
Brady's
North?
the GOAT?
Oh.
South? Who do you have in the South?
Oh,
and
you
who do you have
said
in the
beating
North?
Okay.
Yeah.
South, I definitely have the Falcons.
The Falcons? Okay. And who you have in the North? Minnesota...
Or the Lions.
Lions.
Detroit, man.
Packers.
Detroit has the offense.
Can the Packers come back?
No.
Do you think that's the thing?
I don't think the Packers are even going to the playoffs.
So
The
you
defense
you
is
have
too
the
weak.
Lions?
The Lions.
Kind of like the Vikings, even though I don't like the team.
I have the Packers. If I had to pick a team right now,
we're going 3 different ways, and then
give me the Packers.
That's what we need.
I don't care what happens. They find a way to win.
How far down are they?
It doesn't matter.
2?
It's early. It's early. So, who do you have as your wild cards? What division? What teams?
I like one more of the NFC North teams, whichever one.
So
Eagles.
Okay.
You're saying North.
I'm saying
Vikings.
So do you have Vikings?
Vikings or Packers?
Vikings, Lions. Those are your 2.
I'm saying I feel like there's going to be 2 teams from that division.
Now,
I think there's
who are
3.
your 2 though?
I think it's from the NFC East, to be honest.
I want you to commit.
I feel like
Vikings, Lions.
I feel like I want to say that it's not the Packers, unless they get a running back from somewhere.
Commit, bro. Commit.
I'm saying no Packers.
No
That
Packers.
Packers
So
defense doesn't have enough players
I'm saying the Vikings are a
to
good
make the
choice.
playoffs. Doesn't have enough skilled players on defense to make
I
the
like
playoffs.
Arizona, but I'm an Arizona fan. That's an easy pick.
Homer.
And then I easily think more likely that either of those 2 are an NFC East team.
I would say
I
would say the Cardinals as a wild card more than anybody else, except the Eagles.
Okay.
I think the Eagles have the defense along with the Cardinals.
So you have Eagles, Cardinals as your 5 and 6.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go crazy. I'm gonna say.
Of course you are.
Give
Redskins?
me 2 NFC East teams.
Redskins,
I'll
Eagles.
go Redskins, Eagles.
I like that.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
I think that might be where the money is.
I don't
I
think you're
have
supposed to
no
say that
problem with that.
anymore. I think it's like
The Washington team.
When was the
and
last time
the
we talked
Eagles.
about the NFC
Washington-
The Washington football team and the Eagles.
Oh, we're not allowed to say Redskins now?
Yeah,
Then
no.
you guys got to tell me this.
the Washington team.
The Washington Reds. Yeah, the
Washington
the Red,
DC team.
The Washington football team is what we're saying.
Forwards.
So,
Not the Huskies.
what is the team that we would be most surprised to see in the playoffs? That's already not already out. Like don't talk about the Niners
Or the Browns.
or the
teams that are in contention that
the
you
Browns
think
are in
are
the
gonna be
AFC. Yeah, so give me a team that is still around.
Still around.
Packers.
So, like the Packers could be your team. Like that's fine.
Or the Rams. Outside.
The fact that they're starting Goff
Outside edge.
now.
Yeah, that doesn't feel
No.
right.
I'm
It's
not
not in that
comfortable with
division.
it, but like I
was
get
a
it.
time.
Yeah, no, if they were like, yeah, we're gonna.
They
stick
are
with our
literally
quarterback.
8-8 every year, and Jeff Fisher still has a job.
I remember his last job he was 8-8. What does it matter?
Yeah, exactly.
It's the difference.
He's just an 8-8 coach.
Is it fair to say the Redskins on my
Oh,
side?
yeah, no, definitely.
You
Can I
you
say
can
that?
say it. I don't give a fuck.
I think the Washington team has the potential to make a deep playoff run. They have they have 3 different running backs that can make a difference. Plus, they have a decent receiving core. They have Crowder. They have Pierre Garçon. They have Deshaun Jackson if he comes back healthy. And they have Jordan Reed and Vernon Davis. Like, I hate Vernon Davis, but I love Vernon Davis right now.
Vernon
How
Davis
Vernon
is not a
Davis.
thing,
How
man.
He
far back
is
are
a
the
thing.
Giants in this division?
They could do it. They could do
my point.
all sorts of things.
I'm not sure that the Giants
with their defense, with the money they spent on defense.
Yeah, I'm not sure that the
they
Giants
could go
are
like
out of the question in that division. That's the crazy part.
Minus a hand, JPP.
Yeah.
Or minus a finger.
Yeah, and the Giants. We all know how the Giants play in the second half of the season.
You just got a hand and a club.
Maybe Eli will start playing football and
hand.
All right,
club.
So
he just hits him over the head with his club and then runs over him with his hand.
What do you got? Who's your surprise team?
In the NFC?
Yes, obviously.
My surprise team are the Cardinals, because I think the Cardinals still have a chance to win some games.
All right.
And
so we got Giants.
Get into the playoffs as a wild card.
So what about the Cardinals? Is it the
they're secondary. The NFL now is based on throwing the football. And the only other better secondary in the league, I mean, this might be another homer pick.
Homer. No,
sorry,
just say Seahawks.
But it's true.
You're going Seahawks above the Cardinals.
Yeah. Seahawks have a better secondary, but the second best is the Cardinals.
All right,
I would agree
with
that.
Whatever. So you've got Cardinals. You've got Giants. Is that your pick?
No, I just thought that's an interesting point that they're fourth.
Who's your pick then? Who would you go with?
Interesting, like we're not thinking about it.
Obviously,
I feel like we've already talked about it. I feel like the Panthers would be. The Packers would be my outside one, or the Panthers would be my outside one.
Pick one. Make it your pick right now. Let's talk about this in 8 weeks.
I'll go the Saints.
You're gonna go the Saints. I like it. That's bold. I like it. Yes.
And then they lose immediately.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Like they're gonna make the playoffs and just get fucking blown out. That's fine.
If so,
because they're gonna have to play outside.
The wind.
The wind.
What is this air temperature thing? What is it? 12 degrees. No.
It blows so low when I'm sliding 9 down here.
What is this white powder thing?
Yeah. Rain?
What
is rain?
This isn't the chalk on the sidelines I'm used to.
Grass. Grass.
So, is there anything that you guys going into the weekend that you're really wanting to see more than anything? I know a couple of teams run by, but
I want to see that Panthers. I already watched that. I already watched that shit.
We saw that.
I want to see
you douches.
That Pittsburgh offense against the Browns.
I
want to see how many points.
Yes.
I want to see how many points Bell and Brown can put up, and how many touchdowns Roethlisberger can throw.
Said the guy with Bell and Brown on his
and Roethlisberger.
God, wow, that's a shocker to me. Like I would not have expected that.
I'm pumped about this matchup.
Really,
I'm
excited.
This is the matchup of the year, fantasy wise. If you have any of those guys. They are automatic locks.
Of the year.
That's what we said when they played the Dolphins. That's the Giants' first 200 game, and that was the end of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
All right. So
So I say
moving on. Let me hear your pick for the week.
Cleveland over Pittsburgh.
Cleveland over Pittsburgh. You think that's gonna happen?
No, but I like their odds of making a crazy comeback.
All right. So give me a realistic pick for you.
Yeah, be real.
The Titans.
You want to see what the Titans do and what
Mariota.
The Titans are underdogs this week.
Mariota is playing out of his mind.
He can't stop.
Last 4 weeks.
Quarterback.
Week 1.
Having stashed on my bench because I don't want anybody else to have.
They're winning this division. And numerous times this year, it has not looked like they're winning this division.
Unfortunately, Houston's still leading this division.
They're winning this division.
Houston
and Brock Osweiler is not.
Are we going to talk AFC now? I'd love to talk AFC.
No, we're talking the weekend. We'll get AFC tomorrow. I promise you.
But you're talking AFC right now with Panthers.
We're talking about
with Pittsburgh and
we're talking about
Titans.
weekend things that you want to see.
Talk about this weekend.
We're talking AFC.
You picked Pittsburgh, an AFC team, over Cleveland, an AFC team. You believe you understand what's going on, right?
That's the lock of the week.
Oh my god. No, it's not.
It is. No, it is. Pittsburgh will beat Cleveland.
God,
I guarantee it.
Pittsburgh.
Guarantee by at least
go for it.
8 points.
Oh, okay.
Oh wow! Go on a limb.
Man, I was hoping you were going to say 2 right there.
Like
almost said 20, but I
felt like a real number was going to happen.
Especially after my pick last night. Yeah, I better go a little more conservative.
my intrigue this weekend is going to be with San Francisco. I want to see what they can do with their running back situation, as well as can Colin Kaepernick still be a good fantasy quarterback? Because he's been mediocre as a quarterback in general, but fantasy-wise, he's a top 10 guy, which is just unbelievable. Yeah. Like, it doesn't make any sense from a fantasy standpoint. Yeah. He's averaging 60 yards a game.
He's what we
as
remember.
A starter.
He's what we remember from Cam and Tyrod.
Wow.
I'm just saying.
Captain Morgan, still shout out to you guys. Thank you very much. I'll still tag y'all.
What was the other one?
Remember when Cam and Tyrod ran the ball?
Exactly. So
Colin Kaepernick.
The reason that I like the San Francisco 49ers this week is because it's going to be...
Who do they play?
I believe they play Green Bay.
No way the Niners are winning that game.
It's the last page right here.
Rodgers is...
See right here? Green Bay...
Yeah, we got notes.
Yeah, no shit. Don't be a douchebag about it. Green Bay, Washington... Oh, it's not.
Oh, sorry.
What's that one right there? The very bottom row.
It's KC.
Very bottom
KC,
row.
Tampa
No. This row.
Oh, sorry.
Chicago,
New York Giants. This is not on this one.
I don't know who the fuck they're playing. It doesn't matter. I'm still going.
It does matter.
So this one right here?
Is Arizona last week, right?
So we got San Francisco and New England. I'm still okay with this.
We're very ill-prepared, as always. This is what fifth down should be. Really.
That's Thursday. We're editing this. Don't worry.
We're drinking.
We're not going to
enjoying.
The fuck we're not.
We're still not going to edit this.
All right.
Captain Morgan still shout out.
Anyway, I twice that.
Give me San Francisco over New England this week.
Patriots are going to fucking beat the shit out of the Niners.
This guy only plays overdogs. In case you haven't realized it.
All right, so I'm gonna say.
I just said I'm a realist.
The NFC West just killed the Patriots.
I don't even care.
That's the Seahawks, not the Niners. The Niners defense is not the Niners defense of 3-4 years ago.
So, if we want to talk about this, so Dion Lewis is back as the running back for the Patriots. Like, they still have LeGarrette Blount.
He's back?
Yeah, he's back this week. That's a thing.
LeGarrette Blount.
So LeGarrette Blount is going to do his thing, which is going to be 70 yards and a touch.
That's a change of pace back right there.
But when you have an issue with Dion Lewis,
James White,
yeah, exactly. So when you have two guys that do the same thing, and you don't know how to use them, it's going to cause some issues. And like, I love Tom Brady.
The GOAT.
The GOAT.
No.
Yes.
Their GOAT.
As much as I don't want to say it, he is. As a football fan, Tom Brady is a little bitch, but the greatest quarterback of all time.
I'm sorry, I'm not a huge Tom Brady fan, but I have to agree. Greatest quarterback of all time.
You been there? So, with that said, Gronk is out, which is his biggest target.
He still has Marvin.
And when we talk about
Thomas,
when you talk about the top three receivers of any team,
stop giving hot takes.
The Patriots have the third worst reception ratio in all football when it comes to receivers outside of their tight end, and they're losing their best tight end. Like, I get Martellus Bennett is still a great receiver / tight end.
Tom Brady literally threw his first pick of his entire of the entire season.
That was their
last week.
That was the Patriots' only
interception.
I don't give a shit. Still, like, give me a team without Gronk and a Brady that has to rely on somebody that's not Gronk and make it happen.
Pretty sure the Patriots didn't have Gronk for the first 3 games and still won. They only won
because they
lost. Only won 2.
Martellus Bennett was their
3-1.
Martellus Bennett, Julian Edelman. I think Danny Amendola is still
Danny Amendola.
Tammy.
Goddamn.
So, still,
former Brown.
I say it's going to be a much
should have been a Brown.
It's going to be a 3-point game at best. Like, the Patriots still might win, but I'm not mad if they only win by 3. Like,
this is why we love the AFC.
If it's a 24-21 game, note.
It won't be.
I'm still going to be ecstatic about what the Niners have under the Chip Kelly offense, because he's not he's not great. Like, I'm not going to kid anyone, but he has done things that made them a better team to where they can actually win games. Like, they're not the fucking Browns. That's for damn sure.
But were they 3 weeks ago? Because I would vote that they were pretty damn close.
So you're saying that if...
Before Kaepernick.
Tell me this. I have a question. Would the Browns be better than the Niners if they had Kaepernick?
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. 1000%.
Terrell Pryor would be way better with a good quarterback like
Terrell Pryor
Kaepernick.
should be playing quarterback.
No.
probably not.
Isaiah Crowell. So let's say we have the option offense with Kaepernick, Crowell, and Duke Johnson.
I'm just saying.
Picture
John
that,
Wayne?
Picture that offense.
I'm just saying.
Tell me somebody's going to do something
The
about
Browns
that.
have a pretty expensive offensive team set up to play with RG3.
And their offensive line, especially.
That didn't happen, but Kaepernick's a more proven RG3. Yes, he didn't have the great year that RG3 had, but he's done it for a while longer. He also had a great year.
I understand what you're saying. Like, I get that the Browns suck, and they're going to suck for a while. Their defense is so depleted, it's not fair to be like, the Browns suck, blah, blah, blah. The Browns are terrible.
They should be selling the farm for draft picks. That's all I gotta say.
Oh
Trade Pryor.
This comes from a Mariners fan.
RG3.
A Mariners fan that's used to selling the farm for jack shit.
And no,
Let's get rid of
exactly.
If we're gonna talk baseball, then I could go on.
When we talk about
Let's
like what a team could do with the potential that they have, the Browns need to keep Terrell Pryor. Like that's something they have to do. They could keep Kessler or they couldn't. Like it's not a big deal one way or the other. They need somebody that can throw the ball up. I would be ecstatic if they were like, you know what? Let's sign Romo. Like that would be good.
Yes,
that would be good for them because
this.
especially if Corey Coleman can come back healthy, that team would be above and beyond where they're at. And let's not even add the fact
is that O-line really that good though?
They have one of the best tight ends in the league.
Thank you. I was just going to say
Gary Barnidge, yes, exactly.
Amazing tight end, 2 great running backs, good wide receivers, great O-line. I don't know what you want on offense.
Even if the O-line just sucks shit.
That sounds like you're talking about the Cowboys.
No.
You're talking about the Browns.
So you're talking about
they got a great O-line, 2 great running backs, 2 great wide receivers.
You realize Isaiah Crowell has...
And why can't they win? Why are they still winless? They're going to go 0-16. They're going to be the second team in NFL history to go 0-16.
But
you want to bet on that?
Yes, I will also take that.
You want to bet on that?
I don't have any money.
$1,000?
I don't have any money.
$1,000.
Tila Tequila.
Not the point.
Tila Tequila. $1,000.
Not the point.
I lost $1,000.
Our point is
I could have won $1,000.
No.
Obviously, their O-line's not quite as good as the Cowboys. That's a pretty amazing O-line. But their teams aren't that far apart on offense except for quarterback. I'm not saying they're not the same, like Zeke's having an insane year. But they have good running backs. They have good wide receivers. They have an amazing tight end. Better than Witten at this point.
So the thing about the Browns
Witten's old, man. Witten's a Hall of
Isaiah
Famer.
Crowell isn't like the same.
He's a run-blocking tight end first.
Who?
Witten.
I didn't mean to say Witten, so you'd go down a tangent for
for guys that catch the ball 5 times.
I hate the Cowboys, but I give respect where respect is due.
I'm just saying he's old.
Says the guy that's talking shit about the Cowboys. Moving on. So if we talk about the Browns, I think they could be something in the future if they get a good quarterback like Romo.
And some defense.
So long as Romo stays healthy. If Romo gets hurt, it's a shit show. It's like this year, essentially. That is the Jekyll and Hyde of what they could have. If Romo's healthy, awesome. If Romo gets hurt, it's going to be the same as this year.
The Cowboys are going to be expecting at least... From Jerry Jones' perspective, they're going to be expecting at least a second-round pick.
Who cares?
And probably one of their better players.
The Cowboys.
So the Browns can't give that much up. The Browns need to build. The Browns need draft picks. They would much rather draft a quarterback next year, high, and develop him and let an RG3.
How's that work for him, Johnny Manziel?
So who? Okay, what?
Manziel's the last quarterback to win a fucking game in Cleveland. Are you kidding me?
How many Cleveland quarterbacks have been drafted? How many quarterbacks have Cleveland drafted and failed?
All right, let's go a different tangent.
Let me reiterate.
13 quarterbacks.
Johnny Manziel was the very last quarterback for the Cleveland Browns to win a football game.
Whatever, who gives a shit? Where do you see Tony Romo landing?
The Browns.
Where would you see him going?
Minnesota.
Minnesota? No, they've got 2 quarterbacks. Why would they want to sign him?
Yeah, once Teddy comes back, I don't see that being a thing.
I don't think, and to be honest, I don't think Bridgewater comes back next year. I think he's still going to be that was almost a career-ending injury. He suffered.
So they still have Bradford and somebody. So for some reason, people are.
What has fucking Bradford done?
Exactly.
I got an offhand one. Miami.
No, Tannehill's no.
I'm okay with that. Like I wish.
Tannehill's too young.
Someone would replace him.
Bradford is.
Mine is Houston because they've
got
DeAndre Hopkins.
Thank you.
They already paid
Will Fuller.
Will Fuller is.
They've got great receivers. They've got C.J. Federowicz. Can't spell his last name for the life of me. But
and Foster was leading the league in rushing for a while, but you can't keep
a real running back.
But yeah,
Lamar Miller.
Foster's retired.
Sorry, switch teams there.
Yeah, whoa, retired like 3-4 weeks ago.
From Miami.
I drafted Foster.
Miami.
Thank you. Lamar.
Can you actually tell we've been drinking now?
So there's another other team that I would be surprised if he didn't try to go to would be Chicago. Because they have the same setup. They've got...
But they love Jay
Alshon.
No, they don't.
That's the thing, though. Like, they have Alshon Jeffrey. They've got...
Who was suspended because
Cameron
of Woods.
Meredith.
And they have Eddie Royal.
Zach Miller is really the big deal.
Former Seahawk.
It's not so much like the third, fourth option. It's the big guys. Like when you talk about the tight ends and the 2 big receivers, like you have to have those for someone to thrive. And Romo, he's always had Dez Bryant,
Roy Williams,
or T.O. and Jason Witten. And he's always had a secondary receiver. Who gives a shit who it is? Like Terrence Williams was a big thing 2 years ago. It's just a matter of him having someone to throw it to, but always having a big receiver and a legitimate tight end. And those 2 teams I could see him falling into.
When you're in the red zone,
49ers.
Having a jump ball, tall, wide receiver and a tight end who can catch everything.
Exactly. No,
that's how you score touchdowns.
That's why he has made such a living off of Jason Witten. Like that guy is always there for him. He is the security blanket, as you would say.
And you still have to keep a safety
in Dallas
or a corner or something. You still have to watch Dez the whole time. Like,
yeah, no, exactly.
He's too tall. You can't not.
You can't just be like, Dez
didn't catch it.
You don't leave him.
We're gonna single cover Dez, DeAndre Hopkins, Alshon Jeffrey. Like you don't single cover any of those 3 guys, and yet people will still do that. Yeah. Any big receiver, like there's no reason to do that, but people still do, and it leaves the option for quarterbacks that are mediocre
to just put the ball in.
I'm not saying Romo is mediocre. He's above that. He just has an injury problem. It's just a matter of getting them the opportunity to throw somebody that has that skill set.
Eli Plaxico for years. Not a great quarterback.
Any of those receivers.
Put the ball in the air.
Not a great quarterback.
Put the ball up in the air.
You can't spell elite without Eli.
No, well, okay. He's better than fucking Romo.
He is better than Romo.
Stop it.
How, like, was it 100,
like
100 some odd plus?
Yeah.
100 some odd plus games started. Like, he's
talking Peyton or Eli right
He's
now?
third behind his brother and Brett Favre.
Did you say Phillip Rivers?
Eli's
Eli came into the league before Rivers, bro.
Eli is
no.
What?
No, he did not.
What, same year?
They traded draft picks between the 2, actually.
Okay, so then I'm sure Phillip has sat out a game.
Yeah,
has he?
Eli, I don't think has not started a game his entire career.
Yeah, no, it was called injury.
When?
Last year, he broke his collarbone.
Who?
Eli.
No, he's on a streak of consecutive games started.
Stop it.
I
man.
want all of you to
All
look this up because he's probably wrong.
I'm
Let's
gonna
be
Google
honest.
it right now.
I'm pretty sure that
yeah,
has been injured
if
at
you
least
can
one
YouTube
season in the
comment
last
that,
couple seasons.
I would love it.
Send him up.
So okay,
We can all make fun of James.
is there
It's gonna be
anything
great.
that you guys?
I
are
love
looking,
trolls.
Is there anything you guys are looking forward to for the rest of the year, fantasy wise? Is there any player that you're like, yeah, this guy's going to make the difference for my team or somebody's team?
This has nothing to do with my team. I'm so excited to watch Tennessee destroy the Colts. And then have the Colts come back a little and then still lose the game to Tennessee this weekend.
So who's your player in that matchup?
Oh man, I mean,
Who would
171 games, third most all time.
Is it active?
Is it active? That's
all.
all we're
No,
asking.
Brett Favre, Peyton Manning, Eli Manning.
We're asking is it still
active?
currently
Philip
active?
is behind Eli by
Is it still
100
currently active? We're asking a question you're not understanding.
2004 to current.
That's
So-
what we're asking.
2004 to right now. 171 games.
So,
Philip Rivers, is behind him, and only two people above him are his brother and the
Where are you going here?
The gunslinger.
The
gunslinger.
I can't
all
talk
right,
to goats,
so
James.
John.
You're at the Alcantara Goats.
All right, John. So who's your
Oh, we're sitting back now.
who's your Tennessee guy?
Nice.
Who's the Tennessee guy that
Oh,
you
man.
have?
Well,
I assume it's a Tennessee thing that you want.
DeMarco's questionable, I believe.
Derrick Henry.
No, he played. He was
Full practice today?
Yeah.
I said this last night. Derrick Henry is somebody that you need to draft.
It's not your turn. It's not your turn.
Excuse me. Acquire.
Honestly, if DeMarco's playing, I can't get away from that. That's the easy pick, though. I think Delaney and Mariota may
It's
have
never
another
my
game.
turn, is it, Bobby?
It will be
I
your
think
turn,
When
bro.
John's not around, it's
It will
always
be
my
your
turn.
bro.
I just don't love the space you didn't.
So I got Mariota and Delaney.
I love that
Are
combo.
your combo? I'm fine with that. James,
I love
what do you got for the weekend? Who's your go-to or your combo that you got? Who are you looking at?
My go-to will guarantee start.
Yeah.
Guarantee score you some points.
Oh, fuck. I mean, you got to go with any Steelers player, especially with their matchup.
You going Le'Veon and Antonio again?
So which one of them are you going with, or are you
Both.
going to go with all four of them?
You want me to trade you Sammy
fourth?
Coates?
Who's the third?
Oh, wait,
I
who's
would
that
go
new guy?
Roethlisberger, Bell, and Brown.
What about Eli Rogers? He's been
That's what I was thinking.
he's been hot recently.
Go play that hot wide receiver.
How about Jesse James?
Who? West Coast Trappers?
Talking about
Yeah.
Jesse James.
Yeah, no,
That guy you beat me with.
the Pokemon guy. You
That
know,
tight end you beat me
Jesse
with.
and James.
I don't do Pokemon.
This guy starts
Moving
and
on.
doesn't know his damn name.
So I'm gonna go. I'm still gonna go San Francisco.
Ooh.
I think Carlos Hyde
Whoa,
and
what?
Colin Kaepernick are
Oh
gonna do
my
some
God.
things. Like I understand
That's a hot
that
take.
New England has done their thing, taking away somebody that
You guys hearing this?
people don't want. It's going to be a San Francisco victory. I'm going to call it right now. For sure, for certain. I don't give a shit what's on the line. Somebody comment, poll, whatever the fuck you want. San Francisco's beating the Patriots.
So you're saying the
this
Patriots
weekend.
are losing 2 weeks in a row to the NFC West?
2 weeks in a row.
When was the last time the
To the
Patriots
top
lost
team
2
and the
weeks in a row?
bottom feeder.
When was the last time the Patriots lost 2 weeks in a row?
What do you guys want to bet on this?
With all our money?
I don't bet money anymore unless
I
I
don't give a
guarantee
shit.
I'm
That
going
has
to
to be
win.
money.
Unless I know.
Okay.
Give me
Fucking-
something, anything.
Whoever.
No.
What's
I
bet?
can give you anything, Bobby.
I will wear one of your jerseys.
I was gonna say, how
I
about we
don't
bet
own a
jerseys
jersey.
or hats?
Jerseys or hats.
I don't
You have to wear a
mine
Cardinals-
wouldn't- Your head's too big.
You have to
for
wear
my
a
hats.
Cardinals hat if I win.
Okay.
I have to wear a Texans hat if you win. Next video.
I'll bring the J.J. Watt jersey for either of you.
I'll wear it.
And I will bring the Doug Martin jersey for you specifically.
Muscle hamster.
You will be the muscle hamster if I win this bet.
Muscle hamster.
I'll wear it. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. What's your bet then? So I got...
I'm definitely saying there's no way New England loses 2 weeks in a row.
So
Is there
what-
a point spread though? I don't
No.
The
want
Steelers don't lose to the
advantage.
Browns.
No, we're talking...
I was just fucking around mostly,
we're
but I still
talking
think that could happen.
Patriots.
Patriots, San Francisco.
Niners.
Patriots.
Yeah. Okay. So what's your bet?
What does Bobby have to wear?
What do you want me to bet? Like,
What am I wearing if the Patriots win?
Maybe wear a Seahawks something.
I'm gonna make you force that tiny ass Expos hat onto your head.
Perfect. Expos hat.
I thought you should.
It's
Let's make you wear a Seahawks jersey.
I don't own a Seahawks jersey.
Said the Homer.
He says it on video.
Non-Homer. Non-Homer.
Oh, best setup.
You know how much those things cost? They're like $250.
Best setup I've had all night.
I'm not trying to buy one from China that's like $25. That's got stitching all fucked up and the letters all crooked.
Yeah, it'd be less cool than the one you own now.
Yeah, no, I love that he doesn't own one at all. That's a really.
I don't even own a Seahawks hat.
Ooh, wow! I don't have $23 for mine.
Throw that out there.
God damn, I hate those $12 hats.
Wait.
This is the worst
No,
part of the whole video.
I'm waiting right now.
I do have this.
And he just leaves.
What a tiny dick! Get out of here.
Tiny dick.
I have a random ass.
Oh, he's got a gay painting from his mom. His mom painted it for him.
Lucky.
All right,
get out of here.
No one needs that much.
For all bros and trolls alike, thank you. This has been Fifth Down. That was James. This is John. I am Bobby. We'll see you next week.
James, knock that down some more. Say bye.
Yeah. There you go. That's fine.
I'm done.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
That was my worst showing ever.